Get the whole story.
And you're right on time for the very first episode of Tech Files, coming to you right here from KTN News. We're broadcasting live from Nairobi. I am Brian Jojotieno. This is the show that seeks to discuss all things technology. Of course, we'll be building it up later on to give you more of shows and telling you what devices are new in the market and how they're going to be affecting your daily operations. But first off, we want to start with conversations that made headlines really in the tech space. Jack Dorsey, Twitter CEO, stepped down on Monday as chief executive of the social media application, a social media site he co-founded way back in 2006. He is now currently being replaced by Parag Agrawal, who was the company's chief technology officer working on technologies associated with cryptocurrencies. So Dorsey also has a mobile payment platform called Square. Of course, you have seen it on the online space. The move saw Twitter share prices in the New York Securities Exchange dip by a historical 50 cents. That has never been seen even previously. Of course, that move right there has really caused a lot of questions in the online space. What would be happening to, what would be his next move? But he still remains the chairperson of Twitter board right there. So we'll be keeping you updated on that in the subsequent bulletins of Tech File. Moving on and staying with Twitter. So Twitter will now let private individuals request takedowns of pictures or videos featuring them. If you are accustomed to taking pictures with your friends and they have private accounts, then you need to listen to this. So the company announced the change this morning, extending an existing ban on private information to cover media. Its aim at preventing harassment or invasions of privacy and includes exceptions for posts that are shared in the public interest or add value to public discourse. My only question is how they're going to know which one is and which one is not permitted, really. But if you are accustomed to sharing pictures of people or sharing pictures of your friends who are otherwise in private accounts without their consent, then you need to watch out on that before Twitter pulls down your tweet, or even worse, removes or disables your account. Let's now get into an interesting one that I saw, and I also said this one is really something. So US scientists who created the first living robots say the life forms known as xenobots can now reproduce. Yes, you heard that right. And in a way not seen in plants or animals. And this includes mammals, you and I, humans. So these cells, xenobots, are fast living robots to be made from extract of an African frog known as xenopus. Now, the scientists that developed them at the University of Vermont, Tufts University, and Harvard University, Wyss Institute for Biologically Inspired Engineering, said they have discovered an entirely new form of biological reproduction different from any animal or plant known to science. Stem cells are unspecialized cells that have the ability to develop into different cell types. To make the xenobots, the researchers scrapped living stems from frog embryos and left them to incubate. Currently, there's no manipulation of genes involved. Yes, we have toyed with the idea of robots cannot replace humans, but perhaps we are edging closer to that. Maybe we'll see them. We'll be seeing children of robots soon. Now, I want us to talk about our main discussion tonight, and that is the gig economy and how this is empowering more people to monetize their skills and get gigs and get jobs online that are going to be paid. We are now joined by Innocent Mogodhe, who is COO of Startinev, an innovation hub in Kenya. Innocent, good to see you.
Thank you very much, Branji.
And also Eunice Kilonzo, who is a multimedia specialist currently working with Safaricom. Eunice is joining us virtually. So we will be discussing about the gig economy extensively, really. Eunice, let's trace the evolution of work and why the tech space is enabling more people today not to sit in a 9-to-5 job, but you are able to sit at home and actually plan out your day and find work online and work and be appraised on a task basis. Talk to us about the evolution of the work as it is currently.
Thank you so much, Brian. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. So I think the future of work really has changed. If you think about it, and COVID really taught us that indeed you cannot say that you work in an office, the brick and mortar kind of thing. Now you can work from anywhere. And that in and of itself is a reminder that we are shifting. The workplace as we knew it is shifting. And so right now, because most of us have a phone, we all have a phone that we use, that we call, we are on WhatsApp. It's the same platform that people are working from. So people are getting jobs on their phones, people are submitting jobs, tasks on their phone. So gradually, that is where we are moving, that we will no longer have to have an office for you to say, I'm an employee, but now we'll be thinking about more freelance jobs, part-time gigs. So that's the future of work. If I was to put it just simply.
Amazing. Innocent, have you had an experience working online, and what opportunities are there for people to do online, really?
Due to the nature of work I do, I don't think I've really had a chance to work online, really. But what I'd say is I've seen online as a space where you can actually grow. Specifically to pinpoint some of the big tech giants we have, since you have Facebook, you have WhatsApp, and we've seen them integrate for example, the shop feature on Instagram and WhatsApp, which was something that maybe I'd have to leave my house, go to a shop. So while I've not been really able to work from home, I've been able to experience what not just working, but also experiencing life from home brings, from being able to do something as simple as shopping. But then talking about working from home, we've seen transcription. We've seen the move towards cryptocurrency, which ideally is moving even a currency from having to transact physically to transacting online via cryptocurrency and other emerging technologies, really.
Amazing. And the online and the e-commerce space is really expanding right now. Yeah. Eunice, have you had an experience working online?
I have actually. So mostly it's voluntary work. So currently, my 9 to 5 is I work at Safaricom. But then once in a while, I get some people who know me would ask me, Eunice, can you help us with this and this idea? And of course, that's essentially work, but it's not like a paid. At least on my part, it is not a paid gig. But I know friends, family who've actually earned online. So I'll give you an example of, I know some friends who are currently influencers. There's a platform called Wowzy. And Wowzy simply makes everyone an influencer. So you go in and they give you a platform for you to push and for you to amplify brands and different products and services. So I haven't earned as such online, but I know, it's something that is working for many people. Yeah.
I'm going to stay with you on this next question. There are a lot of people and a lot of platforms today that claim to give opportunities online, but we have seen also scams coming up from the online space. People tell you, uta earn pesa fulani after a certain number of days or a certain number of hours. Talk to us about how to avoid such scams.
I think the beauty of digital work is that you can always verify, and here verification is you can always check online. You can always, the easiest is always just Google that title. Does it exist? Do people have other people applied for it? And then also your networks. You'd be surprised to share some of the jobs that you see on your WhatsApp, and someone will tell you, oh, that's a fake job. Oh, I've seen that before. So the best way is always, anything you see online has to be counter-checked. And then more importantly, if you're applying for a job, just as you would with an offline kind of job, don't pay anything. You shouldn't pay for a job. You're looking for a job so you can get money, so you shouldn't be paying for it. So the moment someone tells you need to pay, a certain percentage, your red flag should be out there, knowing that, this could be a setup. So counter check, Google, share with your networks. And of course, if they ask for anything, either it could be money for you to pay, or they could be asking for your personal details, then that in and of itself, should
it's a red flag.
Yes. The moment someone tells you need to give me your ID, your mobile number, you have to be cautious. Are they paying you by taking those details, or what exactly? So you have to be cautious about it. Yeah.
I love how you've put it. Innocent, have you ever had an experience with such online scams?
Yeah, I've had quite an experience from my account almost getting hacked.
Oh, okay.
I guess you've experienced that.
Same here.
But I guess it's what Uni says.
Okay.
It starts at the verification point. And I guess the easiest verification is usually the link. I guess we've seen very weird links. So if it's Branch's website, it's bra.nji instead of the complete link.
Okay.
That's one. I guess the other one I've seen very common is they promise you rewards. I don't know, share to 10 people. While that actually exists, platforms where you can actually share and earn, not all of them are quite legit.
Okay.
So if you're seeing, for example, a famous hypermart advertising that if you share this to 10 people, you get this. I guess the first point of verification is they have social media pages, and if they really had a giveaway, they would actually announce it there, not somebody asking you to reshare. And I guess most people are doing it very blindly because they don't know.
Okay.
And I guess tech is also evolving. We'll get to a point where you're actually able probably to block this off. But as of current, I've actually experienced it. But as Eunice rightly put it, verification is the first place. Then if
so
somebody
counter-check.
really, counter check really, and if somebody really wants to pay you for a service, I guess it's normal. Do the service, get paid, or there's a mode of payment.
Quid pro quo.
Yes.
Amazing. As we wind up, how do we make the most out of online opportunities, the discipline that goes with it? Because people say, I can't sit in a 9-to-5 job, but they say we can sit at home and earn a buck. But sometimes there's a lot of discipline that needs to go into it. So what traits or what character or what should make a proper online career, so to speak?
Making a proper online career, and I guess we've said, I don't know, build a startup, build startups that scale, do all this. But I guess the key is in being out there. I remember sometime in January this year, we did a startup weekend, which was totally online. And we had the ability to connect Kenyan startups, Kenyan young people, to actual opportunities across the world. They were able to access mentors, judges from across the world, as far as Wall Street. And I guess the difference between those actual startups and the guys who didn't actually join this event and many other events that are actually happening online, because with online you're able to access events anywhere. You could be in Kenya and you're accessing an event anywhere. And I guess it's being out there and being very proactive while at it. And on top of that, just being able to set your space right. So if your brand, if I go to Google right now, I should be able to easily find you. First, that gives me the verification that you are actually a real person or a real business. And I guess we've seen that with a lot of young people and even young businesses. You see this very nice business, you're trying to actually engage them, you want a product, but there's no way of verifying them. Do they even exist online? And I guess most of these tools, adding yourself to the Google card and all these other services exist online. And I guess that's where it starts. Be out there, be very proactive while at it, and I guess it becomes easier for the other person on the other end, first to find you, and second, to verify you if need be.
All right. Yeah. Amazing. Eunice, we want to now finish with you. So your last words to anyone who is looking for an online opportunity, or which ones are now the ones that are selling, in 30 seconds or so.
I think for you to find online opportunities, you need to be able to know what your skills are.
Sure.
Because for the online platform, if you basically you're trading a skill for something, so you need to know: am I good in writing? Can I be paid for writing? Am I good in events management? Can I be paid for this skill? So being able to know what your skills are, make it easier for you to see an opportunity and see how you can monetize it. You can benefit from it. But more importantly, stay curious. Always stay curious, because it's from curiosity that you learn the opportunities that exist. I mean, you could be trained you could be a doctor, but then you could do something else. You could be an MC, you could do other things. So being curious and staying, just staying with an open mind helps you a great deal to be able to tap into these opportunities as they come. Yeah.
Amazing. Many thanks, Eunice and Innocent, on joining us on this conversation tonight on the gig economy. What do you think? Talk to us on Twitter at @Branji_KE, at KTN News KE. We now want to finish with the tech tip of the week. And Innocent alluded to this earlier on. So, known to so many people, I was hacked on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. And that is why I am giving you this first tech tip of the week, even in the premiere show of Tech File tonight. So the tech tip of the week is put two-factor authentication on on your social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, go to your settings and put a two-factor authentication. So the two-factor authentication enables you to protect your account, your social media accounts, from hackers and from anything that could, any cyber attacks that could be launched against your account. We'll be giving you that across the week on the tech tip of the week on the subsequent bulletins. But that's from us tonight on Tech File. Many thanks for joining us. Join us next week on Wednesday again, 8:30 to 9 p.m. I'm Brian Jojotieno. Ken Mijungu is up next with News Hour. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Passwords are everywhere. We use them to access our money, our communications, even our social lives. At first, we used one password for everything, but that wasn't good enough, so we started making our passwords even more complicated and began using password managers to organize the dozens or hundreds of the unique passwords we used. But no matter how complex our password system was, it was never enough to prevent account takeover, because all it took was one phishing email or database exploit, and your password was out in the world. So, if passwords are impossible to protect on their own, what do we do? That's where two-factor authentication comes in. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, adds a second method of identity verification to secure your accounts. First, the thing you know, your password. Then, something unique that you have, like your phone or fingerprint. By combining your password with one of these factors, attackers can't access your account even if they have your password. The most common 2FA systems use a unique one-time code with every login attempt. This code is tied to your account and generated by a token, smartphone, or sent to you by text message. The more modern and most secure form of 2FA uses a mobile app to send an approval notification to your smartphone or smartwatch for the least hassle possible. With 95% of breaches involving account takeover, two-factor authentication is the most effective method of prevention. It's time for everybody, businesses, governments, and you, to take the easy and effective step of enabling two-factor authentication on all accounts. If it uses a password, it needs to use two-factor authentication.